So yeah, I'm really excited to finally be doing comedy for the freaks and geeks who have become my family for the last 3 years. This has been, thank you. This has been such a blast. It's been super cool. It's because normally my gig at these kinds of events is selling corsets, and I definitely prefer this gig to the usual gig where I'm vending, because vending corsets at steampunk events is always kind of an endurance trial. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, because every other customer, when you're vending corsets at a steampunk event, and let's hear it for steampunk. That's right. Enjoy the time period you completely made up. Collective hallucinations are awesome. But yeah, selling corsets at steampunk events is always an endurance trial, because every other customer goes like this: "Excuse me, ma'am, would you like to try on a corset?" "Sure thing, just let me remove the corset that I'm already wearing." 10 series of pockets with nothing in them, 10 telescopes and an alchemy kit. But don't worry, I'm going to make this real easy for you. I'm going to put everything in the entryway of your booth so nobody can come in and look at anything else. And to make this transaction less annoying, I'm going to speak to you only in a loftily fabricated pseudo-British accent that I made up to go along with my made-up time period that I made up. But be forewarned, I've had copious amounts of shitty American accents, so my grasp on reality may be tenuous. Now show me your wares, giant talking beetle. So, yeah, and the term steampunk itself is kind of a misnomer. If steampunk bands acted like actual punk bands, things would be very different, but the behind the music special for that would be fucking hilarious. Yes, well, we were going to having quite a ripping performance, so then wouldn't you know it, our lead singer got in fisticuffs with the gentleman in the front row with the pith helmet and cybernetic enhancements. But don't worry, our rocket launchers did quite a number on his waistcoat. And then wouldn't you know it, oh my god, our calliope player smashed up his instrument with a dirigible fairground horse. I tell you, I have never seen Mr. Withers drink so much brandy. Our ensemble would have made it straight to the top had he not sold all of our amplifiers to support his pocket watch addiction. Yeah, steampunk is so consumer-driven that everything has extra pockets to fill with more steampunk stuff. And it's kind of a vicious circle, too, because you go out your way to fill the pockets, and you're like, oh, I need to buy more steampunk stuff. And then that stuff has additional pockets, and you have to fill those pockets with things. But you can stop the circle by just filling all of your extra pockets with clocks. Little known fact, many steampunks carry tons of clocks because they have too much time on their hands. I'm ripping on steampunk quite a bit, and it's amazing because I didn't even have any jokes about steampunk until about 4 or 5 days ago, and I just got hit with this amazing lightning bolt of inspiration. Before, I was just going to be standing up here and going, and what is the deal with food on rigid airships? It would have been embarrassing. I'm ripping on it a lot. I love steampunk, I love girl genius, I love corsets, I love robots, I love all of this stuff, but I do hate it when people get a little bit defensive with you about it being completely fabricated. I've had someone say to me, oh, there's totally steampunk canon. Jules Verne wrote steampunk. And I'm like, yes, we should always listen to people who say there were dinosaurs living beneath the Earth's crust. And before all y'all nerds pipe up, I don't want Doctor Who to be right about that either. And people get defensive about it, but that's the beauty of steampunk, is that you can kind of do anything with it because we all invented it as a group. I used to wonder what Mexican steampunk would look like. And then I saw a guy at Steampunk World's Fair with a poncho and a jetpack, and I don't wonder about that anymore. People hear the beginning of that joke and think I'm going to do something a lot more racist with it, but I was raised better than that. I was raised in the woods by a rogue pack of Tumblr users. Racism does not fly in the blogosphere, let me tell you. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about steampunk. Many people have told me that steampunk something isn't steampunk if you just slap a gear on it, and I'm like, in some cases you could have fooled me. I look around and I see all kinds of amazing steampunk outfits, but I also see a lot of bad steampunk outfits, and I wonder if some people haven't just adopted this as their theme song for steampunk. If you like it, then you should have put a gear on it. If you like it, then you should have put a gear on it. It's a hot topic Corsa with a smear on it, but it's steampunk cause I put a gear on it. Cause if you like it, then you should have put a gear on it. If you like it, then you should have put a gear on it. I got pockets in my pockets and a prairie bonnet. I look like I rolled in the mud and made my black clothes brown. I'd really like to see a pie chart of demographics of people who own aviator goggles. Because I'm starting to be really suspicious that very few of these people have ever actually been behind the wheel of something that flies. And the plane you sit in at the Smithsonian for photo ops does not count. Look at me, I'm the pilot of an aeroplane. No, you're not, you work at GameStop.